can you explain to us like what are the uses for the small love potions, as well as like is there any use for the Axie token at all?
Yeah, so just to break it down as simple as possible, the reason why Axie Infinity as a ecosystem is pumping and why it's gaining so much traction is due to the play to earn model of the game. So you play, you have these 3 NFTs. They kind of are, in the simplest forms, they're a Pokemon of sorts, right? So it's like this little digital pet, this little digital character that looks kind of like a Pokemon. It has different traits to it when you take it into battle. So attack, defense, all this sort of things. And then you take it into battle. And every time you win one of these matches, that takes only about 5 to 10 minutes per match. So it's real quick, in and out. Every time you win one of these matches, you get anywhere from 8 to 11 smooth love potions, the SLP coins. So every time you win one of these matches, that takes maybe, let's say, 7 minutes. You win 10 of these SLP coins. So now SLP way back in the day was less than a penny. So you're winning these matches, you're getting these SLPs, and these SLPs are used to breed Axies. So each Axie, there you go. So these are the little characters. So if you want to create a new Axie character for yourself, you would do what's called breeding, and you would use the SLP coins. And the SLP coins are what you earn by playing, and then by breeding an Axie, you burn the SLP coins, you no longer have them, but you get this new Axie that's worth maybe, way back in the day, it's $5 when SLP is worth less than a penny. And your gameplay really doesn't matter that much. You're doing it more so for fun, not for profit. Well, what's happened is the demand, and this is where the depth of the Axie ecosystem really comes into play, where there's this really unique balance between gameplay and play to earn and creating new Axies and all this stuff. So right now, let's not focus on the Axis coin so much, the AXS coin that's really been pumping. Let's focus more on the SLPs and the breeding. So you win these SLP coins, and then you use them to breed an Axie, and then the Axie goes on the marketplace, and you try and sell it for whatever reasonable marketplace value is. But it all kind of ties together. So the Axie price on the marketplace kind of has to correlate SLP price, because if you're burning these SLP coins to create a new Axie, it has to be worth it, right? You're not going to burn coins if you're going to create an Axie that it takes you $50 to create an Axie, but you can only sell it on the marketplace for $20, right? You would just sell the coins. Why would you create a new Axie? So then the supply of the Axies would drastically decrease, but the demand is staying the same if no one's creating new Axies. So right now what's been happening is demand has been outpacing supply to a crazy extreme, where now everyone is coming in, they want Axies, right? So everyone's buying up all these Axies. Well, on the flip side, everyone's earning these SLPs, but they're not earning them fast enough to create new Axies. So the price of the SLP coins used to create the Axies were lower than the Axies on the marketplace. So the Axies on the marketplace, let's just say they're selling for, the cheapest one is $400. But the price of the SLP coins that were used to create the Axies were only $200. So now everyone floods into SLPs, because if you get the correct amount of SLPs, let's just say, staying with this example, it costs $200 in SLP coins to create an Axie that you can flip on the marketplace for $400. Right. So then everyone rushes into SLP, the price of SLP goes crazy, and now the price of Axies on the marketplace has to sustain that. And I've been on your show in the past and Charlie's show in the past, and I had said before, I did not think that the demand for Axies was going to keep up with the supply of SLP. It's difficult.
That was a major call, dude. Because when you said that just like a week or two after it, like the price exploded.
And then, so now the price of Axies comes into play. So then Axie Infinity, because, or just to add another balance thing, I mean, it's so difficult for me to try and talk this through
And just explain to everyone what Anorak's saying by SLP. So you have
the right here. That's on your screen right here.
That's on my screen right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now he just won this battle, and then he just got 7 small love potions, and these are the love
for free for doing nothing but playing the game and winning. Like you
Correct.
didn't put any money in for this. Like you're getting it all for free.
Yeah. Other than just starting your team off, then from there you can pretty much just start earning just about everything. Can you earn like the main token itself as well as a prize here and there?
Not yet. There's going to be staking involved, and once they release land play, there will be ways to kind of mine it. But so anyway, then they introduce this Axis coin to breeding. So now this governance token for Axie. So SLP is like kind of a utility coin, right? It's used for something. There's an infinite amount of SLPs. There's not a capped amount. It's totally infinite. So there's no, it's totally utility. There's no like long-term speculation. You should not be buying and holding SLPs for the long term. I don't think that's a good investment decision. Maybe short term it works out for you, but it's an infinite amount. You should not be holding it. The Axis coin is, if you want to invest in Axie, this is what you should be looking at. It's AXS. If you go on CoinGecko, it's been trending for the last month and a half. You probably don't even have to search for it. It'll be right there. So then Axie introduces this AXS coin for breeding. And they make it so that you need to have 4 of these Axis coins in addition to the SLPs to create a new Axie. Well, right now, the price of 4 Axis coins is roughly $180 to $200. The price of SLP coins needed to breed a new Axie, and it varies based off the amount of times that you've bred a certain Axie. So we're down to $43. We got as high as $51 yesterday on Axis. However, now it's costing you roughly $400 to breed an Axie.
Oh, it says 4 Axies. Is it more than 4 Axies tokens to breed?
No, it's 4 Axis tokens, and then roughly, let's just say 400 SLP tokens. So roughly $400 to create a new Axie. Which, going back to it, you're not going to create a new Axie. You're not going to burn these coins if the price of the Axie is less than the price of these coins. So it's this very unique. So 100. So we're at about $300. Sometimes the price of breeding an Axie, if you've bred it multiple times over, the maximum amount of times that you can create, that you can breed an Axie. So use 1 Axie to create an offspring, like a baby or whatever. The maximum times you can do that is 7. And once you get into like the 5 to 7 range, it'll cost you like 3,000 to 4,000 SLP coins to breed a new one, which no one really does now.
So is that only worth it when someone monopolizes? Because I've heard this is just hearsay. I'm more deferring to you on this. I've heard some people have done that sometimes, just because in Axie that's been monopolized, they have like a certain because these Axies essentially have like 3 pieces on them, like 3 little like either funky glasses or ears or wings that give them like special attacks like Pokemon. And at least even back then when I was playing, me and you were talked about that people were essentially monopolizing and buying one type of Axie, like didn't matter what type it was,
Frankie,
a certain body part, right?
Yeah.
So that maybe is the only probably reason. Maybe if it has a super rare part or something that's like really in style now, because it's actually working really good on the ladder, I'm guessing.
So there's a lot of that going on, but it's becoming more and more difficult to monopolize certain trades just because there's so much supply coming out. I mean, the Axie marketplace is selling like 50,000 Axies in a single day within 24 hours. They're selling like 50,000 Axies in a day. It's crazy. So the breeding is extremely difficult for me to talk through and try and explain. I mean, there's so many different little levels to it and different niches and everything. But here's what's really making. Oh, this is Bryson. If you want to learn more about Axie, you should definitely check him out. Bryson on Twitter. Let me try and pull up his handle. But anyway, the reason why Axie has been pumping like this is because of something called scholarships. So the guy you have up now, his name is Brycent, BRY, and then cent _. The reason why Axie's been pumping is because these things called scholarships. So if someone like myself has, let's say, 50 Axies at my disposal, I only really use 5 to play with, right? The other 40 to 45 are just sitting idle in my wallet. They're not collecting any income. They're not doing anything for me. They're just sitting there. What's happening is someone figured out how to set up these scholarship programs. So I can set up an Axie account for someone, and they only have access to the login information. They can't do anything with my Axies that require gas. So they can't transfer them. They can't sell them. All they can do is access the account and use them to play in the game with. They can't do anything malicious. So what's happening is people are setting up these accounts and sending basically a form of renting or loaning their Axies to people for a $0 entry cost. So now you're having these people from overseas. I mean, this game is blown up in the Philippines, in Southeastern Asia, Venezuela as well.
Why am I not surprised the Philippines?
So,
sorry, I don't know why I laugh so much, but
it's crazy. It's crazy. The creators of Axie, a few of them are from the Philippines or the Southeastern Asia area. But anyway, so now there's these things called scholarship programs. So all of these people are now getting into Axie for a $0 cost, and they're getting in and earning SLP coins under the play to earn model. And right now I have 4 or 5 scholars, 4 to 5 different scholarships right now, pretty small compared to some of the other people. And my scholars are making, just in the month of July, roughly each scholar made $900 just from play to earn. And they play video games for like 5 hours a day. They keep 65% of their earnings. And then as the scholarship manager, I keep 35% of their earnings, which is roughly the going rate. Some people are 50-50, others are 70-30. Right now I'm 65-35. So I try and stay competitive.
At some level of caliber, basically.
I send them good teams. I don't send them crap. I send them stuff that they can win with. I send them stuff that works. I don't just send them like 3 garbage Axies and say have at it. I try and set them up with something competitive. It helps them, but also, you know, they're playing to win. If they win games, it helps me as well.
Right. So plus, it isn't like they're stealing it from you. They're just work. It's you know, in a way, this is sharecropping. This is sharecropping.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking sharecropping,
dude. It's just it's crazy
yes,
because
yes, matched.
They no, I have a yeah, Vishant's in here. Yeah. Vishant can vouch for me. Vishant, he knows I'm a good scholar manager. I having 4 or 5 scholars, you have a much more intimate relationship with your scholars. You know, they ask you questions about the game, you help them out, help them get started. There's some people who have thousands of scholars, hundreds of scholars, and I don't know how they're
breaking it right now. Holy crap, that's a lot.
But so now you have this entire influx of new people, and people like Vishant, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name here, but now people like this are earning money through play to earn. Now, what do people like this do? Well, some of them want to cash out. They want to buy cool things. Others are putting their money back into the game. So they're grinding. They get these Axies for free. They grind. They earn up enough to buy their own team. And then they put money back into the ecosystem, and they have their own team, right? So now you have this. This is how there's 1.2 million people in the marketplace buying stuff. It's because there's all these people who are earning income for nothing. Like people like my scholars and all the other scholars, there's no membership fee. They don't have to pay me a fee to get involved. They don't have to put a down payment or collateral down for the Axies. They get into this with literally $0 down, and they're making $900 a month off playing a video game for maybe 5 hours a day. Like, it's insane. That's why people are flooding to Axie. That's how they're getting new people. They're getting thousands and thousands of new people every single day joining Axie because word of mouth, especially in these third world countries. I mean,
average did this. Like, literally, Pokemon could have done this, except they're fucking greedy fucks.
They're greedy, and people, dude. Even people like Fortnite. The amount of money that you can make off just sales fee in a marketplace where people can buy and sell stuff among themselves is crazy.